Darren IShowSpeed, Watkins Jr. smashed his monitor when the counter ticked past 40 million on 8 June. Today that number is already 40.8 million and climbing by the hour. 3 months earlier, on 13 March 2025, surgeons finally went after the infected tissue behind his right eye, a last-ditch bid to end the cluster headache attacks that once left him screaming inside a Tokyo ambulance back in July 2023. Speed checked out of hospital in under 48 hours and never looked back. By 13 June, he was dusting a former HBCU running back in 4 straight foot races, taunting the crowd with the same over-the-top swagger that made him a household meme. Then, on 16 June, a batch of his own flirty Instagram DMs went viral, only for fans to realize he'd already read them out loud on stream. Privacy, like caution, doesn't survive long in the Speediverse. So the question isn't whether a scalpel can quiet YouTube's loudest voice, it's whether anything, or anyone, can keep up with a 20-year-old who turns every setback into content gold. But to understand how we got here, you have to rewind to the first spark. Long before stadium crowds barked with him, a 12-year-old Darren streamed NBA 2K from a cluttered Cincinnati bedroom to exactly 2 viewers, his cousin and a random stranger who never typed in chat. He opened the channel in December 2017, mixing shaky Fortnite clips with silent 2K highlight reels, posting so irregularly that his sub counter sat at 10 for months. The turning point came during lockdown, April 2020. Stuck at home, he fired up a dusty webcam and promised himself one live show every night. No excuses. 5 people tuned in, then 8, drawn by a lanky kid who'd lose a virtual basketball game, slap his desk, laugh, and immediately clip the meltdown into a funny reaction upload before bed. That 2-hour stream, large 10-minute rage montage loop became his secret growth engine, quietly teaching the algorithm and his future fans that Speed was most watchable when he was one bad play away from exploding. By midsummer, he was averaging 20 live viewers, 1,000 total subs, and an inbox full of trolls daring him to rage harder. Each taunt nudged the volume knob a little higher, and somewhere inside those sweaty midnight broadcasts, the cheerful gamer learned that fury sells. Next up, the night that lesson went viral and catapulted him from 300k to 2 million in just 24 furious days. By autumn 2020, Speed had uncovered a dangerous cheat code. The louder he lost, the longer viewers stayed. Each nightly NBA 2K20 stream ended with a 10-minute funny reaction upload, desk slap, headset toss, manic grin that outperformed every straight gameplay clip he'd ever posted. The numbers proved it, and he doubled down. 2-hour lives, 10-minute rages, repeat. But obsession attracts friction. The first blow landed in October 2020 when YouTube's autoflag mistook the baby-faced 15-year-old for a 12-year-old and yanked his streaming rights. The ban lasted just 24 hours, yet the "I can't stream no more" thumbnail, tear emoji over a cracked heart, scored more clicks than a week of normal vids. Viewers learned that Speed's pain was premium content, and some started engineering it. Unpaid hackers grabbed his IP, blitzed his router, and forced him offline mid-match. Every new DDoS produced another broken heart vlog, another sympathy spike, another incentive to strike again. Even everyday trolls smelled opportunity. Drop a petty insult, salad dressing too spicy for you? And Speed would detonate on cue, barking, desk slamming, sometimes shredding the very jacket his cousin had gifted him. Fans were no longer just an audience. They were remote control chaos, poking until he popped. Behind the screen, a pattern crystallized. Vulnerability, outrage, viral clip growth. And when growth is the goal, the pattern becomes the plan. Next up, the week that pattern hit the jackpot, rocketing a 16-year-old from cult curiosity to million-subscriber headline, fueled entirely by one punishing game of unsubscribed chicken. Speed's chat had a new toy, his live sub counter. On June 22nd, 2021, they began a wicked ritual. Mass unsubscribe at 99.99 and 950. Watch him melt down, then flood back in for the dopamine hit of a milestone. The clip of him shrieking, barking, and headbutting his monitor hit TikTok within minutes, racking up millions of loops. Over the next 7 days, the same stunt repeated at every 100,000 mark, and the numbers turned surreal. 300k to 1M between June 22nd and June 29th. TikTok supercutters did the rest. Montages titled "Fastest Sub Growth Ever" spliced sub-counter hiccups with canine growls and shattered keyboards, blasting across For You pages that had never heard of NBA 2K. Within 3 more weeks, the cascade was complete. 2 million subscribers, a 7-fold jump, all powered by curated meltdowns. Even legacy outlets began whispering that a kid named IShowSpeed had just staged the quickest takeover in live stream history. Wikipedia would later freeze it in print. 100k in April, 1 million by June. The victory came at a price. Every new viewer arrived expecting a fresh implosion, pushing Speed to raise the stakes, louder, riskier, angrier, and as summer rolled into fall, the quest for ever bigger reactions would collide with platform rules, rival streamers, and real-world police. In the next chapter, the Valorant rant, a bedroom firework that nearly torched his channel, and why a single word, bark, would both crown and curse the king of chaos. 2022 opened with a gut check. During a late-night Valorant match in April, Speed lashed out at a female teammate with a barrage of misogynistic insults. A Riot Games dev clipped the rant, posted it on X, and within hours, handed him a blanket ban from every Riot title. The clip racked up millions of views. Speed issued a half-hearted apology, but the headline "banned for life" stuck like glue. 3 months later, he was back in the news, literally lighting it up. On July 4th, he ignited a Pikachu-shaped firework in his bedroom, shrieked as sparks ricocheted off the ceiling, and bolted off camera while 90,000 live viewers watched firefighters storm the house. Mainstream outlets from Yahoo to CBR ran the footage under "Streamer nearly blows up room," cementing his reputation for reckless spectacle. The chaos snowballed. That same month, a risque Minecraft mod, blurred but unmistakable, earned him a 1-week YouTube strike, and And on August 8th, he hit an even scarier milestone, a full-blown swatting. Cincinnati police, responding to a bogus 911 call, burst into his room and cuffed him on stream. Bodycam footage later showed officers repeating, "It's a prank call. He's clear." Viewers saw the terror. Trolls saw another button to press. The bands, the boom, the cuffs, each headline widened the spotlight, but it was a football chant that would turn that glare into a global floodlight. On November 4th, 2022, 2 weeks before Qatar's opening whistle, Speed dropped his self-produced anthem World Cup. The music video, all vuvuzelas and backflips, rocketed past 167 million YouTube views and landed him a distribution deal with Warner. TikTok stitched the chorus into 500 million soccer edits. Stadium PA systems in Doha even blared it during warm-ups. FIFA fever carried him to Manchester, then Madrid, and finally Lisbon, where in November 2023, a trembling Speed finally met his idol Cristiano Ronaldo. The live handshake and customary "Say You" duet peaked at 1.2 million concurrent viewers, a personal record that dwarfed every prior Rage clip. But global fame brought real-world flashpoints. During Australia's 2024 Schoolies Week on the Gold Coast, thousands mobbed the streets the moment his IRL stream went live. Police halted trams, closed roads, and escorted him back to a hotel after fans climbed light poles and mimicked his backflips in traffic. Local news called it the most disruptive crowd since Bieber, while Speed beamed, "We shut the city down!" Yet behind the viral chants and heaving crowds, another meter was spiking, his pain scale. The warnings began in Tokyo, July 30th, 2023, when he collapsed with a swollen right eye and what doctors labeled cluster headache attacks. Fans camped outside the hospital chanting "Speedy recover," while CT scans revealed a severe sinus infection pressing on optic nerves. He streamed from the ward, joking through morphine, but doctors advised surgery within 2 years to prevent permanent damage. Ignoring rest orders, he staged a 24-hour backflip world record attempt on October 9, 2024. After 660 flips, his legs went numb. EMTs wheeled him off as he muttered, "I can't move." 4 days of partial paralysis forced his first real hiatus, and even die-hard fans started posting, "Bro, blink twice if you're okay." Pain spiked again in March 2025. A sole neurologist confirmed the headaches were back, fiercer, and scheduled immediate right eye surgery. Speed's stream title read, "If I don't wake up, remember me barking," sending #Pray for Speed trending worldwide and reigniting the debate. Is perpetual outrage worth permanent damage? Doctors promise a quick recovery. Critics say the real rehab must be psychological. Either way, the scalpel is poised, and the internet is holding its breath. On October 10th, 2023, Twitch quietly lifted the permanent ban it had slapped on Speed 2 years earlier. Social feeds blew up. Dexerto's tweet alone pulled 5 million views, but the streamer surprised everyone. "I'm staying on YouTube. 40 million eyes here. Why split the party?" The loyalty paid off. At the Streamer Awards 2024 in Los Angeles, he walked away with a triple crown: Best International Streamer, Best IRL Stream, and the big one, Streamer of the Year, tying Kai Cenat for most wins of the night. The same week, Wikipedia froze his resume under one of the most popular online personalities on Earth, yet Twitch keeps wooing him with 6-figure offers, and YouTube just showcased him on Brandcast's main stage beside CEO Neil Mohan. The tug of war isn't over. For now, Speed is milking the leverage, teasing platform-exclusive specials while reminding fans, "Where I bark is where the party is." Speed's side hustle single World Cup snagged him a Warner Records distribution deal, and his Spotify profile still hovers near 700,000 monthly listeners. Peaks have topped 1 million whenever a new football anthem drops. Merch is the second pillar. His Speed Store hoodies sell out every IRL tour stop, and Sportskeeda's ad revenue math pegs his channel alone at $1 to $4 million a year before sponsorships and apparel markups. Add touring and label advances, and conservative trackers put his 2024 cash flow in the high 7-figure zone. Lucrative, but also the fuel that keeps the rage machine running. Internet history is littered with personas that burned brighter than they could sustain. Roy Purdy, once the neon poster child for positivity, vanished for nearly 2 years after admitting the constant happy act left him empty. Fans still trade theory videos labeled "The Strange Disappearance of Roy Purdy." Speed's dilemma is the mirror image, a brand built on adrenaline spikes instead of pastel smiles. Now, with eye surgery looming and doctors warning of permanent damage if stress levels stay red-lined, the countdown feels existential. Does he throttle back and risk losing the crowd, or floor it and gamble his health? The scalpel hovers, the chat scrolls, and a generation raised on highlight reel hysteria waits to see whether the loudest show on YouTube can learn to whisper, or whether the next bark will be the last.